Welcome to Around the Whiteboard. We've got a mustachioed Cam Porter. Are you doing Movember, or is this just style?
No, it's just a new look for me.
I kind of a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I want to have a mustache, and then I was like, I can't do it now because everyone's doing it now, and people think I thought maybe if they give me money, I could just keep it for myself. So we got Cam Porter, who is just back from China. We've got Tyler Watkins, who is in John Woolley's house. Look, judging by the background, where are you?
I'm at John's house. We're having conversations.
Constantly varied ones. Are you at home visiting family for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm at the in-laws.
Oh, cool. Nobody cares, Tyler. And we've got Lucy Campbell, who is basically a co-host now, pretty much. I have to split revenue with her from all of these shows. It's not much, Lucy. Don't get excited. This is her 453rd show in a row on Around the Whiteboard, even though we've only done about 100 of them. So she just basically has been unbeatable. We've also got who I am declaring the listener of the year for 2024. Augustus link is in the comments. That guy came up on my YouTube. I don't know what you call it. Back end. I don't know. The analytics that he has commented, honestly, an insane amount in live chats and then on actual videos that he's gone back and watched after the fact to comment, which is really cool. I appreciate it, Augustus. You're a good guy. Dude, them guitars. Yeah, it's actually those guitars, Gabe. So if you just want to brush up on your English. Yeah. Tell us how many. I actually can't remember. I think in the last 30 days, there was 18 comments. And there hasn't been 18 videos. So that's pretty impressive.
I thought he was asking about guitars. There's 11 guitars in this room right now.
That's impressive.
Why, though? Is that from one person?
My wife's dad is a jazz musician.
That's cool.
That's such a cool thing to be. I wish I could tell people I was a jazz musician.
You can tell people would believe you.
Yeah, but then they'd ask me questions about jazz and potentially even to do some sort of musical number, and I could be in strife.
Yeah, but you just do that thing of like, it's I need a left-handed guitar.
No, I'll do the one where people are like, what do you do for work? And I'm like, do you know James Bond? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, it's nothing like him. It's nothing like him at all.
Yeah, do you know James Bond? Yeah, I'm a chef. All right. Is your wife's dad Justin Kotler? Yeah, Can, you're familiar with Justin. His musical instrument is
he can sing.
I was going to say his pipe, but
he's got some pipes. Yeah,
maybe not. Like I'm talking about his penis.
Pipes.
Justin Kotler is my dad. Can't you tell?
Oh yeah, you just want to look like him. All right, we've got 3 topics. Oh fuck. Oh shit, I shouldn't have sworn. I did it twice. Beyond the Whiteboard is sponsoring this show as they have all year. And I'd really like to go back for 2025. So guys, if you're watching, it's been a great partnership, very successful on my end. Probably not so much on your end, but you can go to btwb.com and you can sign up and you can track your workouts, and you can, if you're an affiliate, you can install it on, if you know one of those big fancy TVs. If you just have a whiteboard, forget it. But if you have one of those big TVs, it makes it look amazing. You could just write BTWB on the whiteboard and then trick Luddites into thinking that it's 18 comments on videos, definitely more than a live stream. No, yeah, this is comments in the comment section after the fact when the video is already put up, which is why I thought it was remarkable. All right. We've got 3 topics. We've got a minute on the clock.
Can I go last?
Oh, you're close to me.
Wrap my head around. I mean, I feel like this is a challenging there's 2 challenging topics here because I feel like we still are missing so much information. But this will be interesting.
Okay.
Who needs more information, Con?
Hang on 1 second. Let me see if this works, Con. Hang on. Here we go. And then I add him back in. And then I add him. Hey, now you can go last.
Yeah, cool. Now I can just basically restructure what everyone else says and make it
exactly repackage it. Ooh. All right. Tyler, you're up first. They're very 1987 style headphones. You got 60 seconds. I haven't told you the fucking subject yet.
I was gonna say.
All right, there's been a hell of a lot of talk about next season. You just need to go to any of your regular, MSNBC podcast type outlets. And you can find 5, maybe 6 shows on some of the channels, many of them saying nothing at all. But we have the information on the new season. We know that there's an open. We know that 1% of the open, this can is like, I need to write this shit down.
No, I know all this stuff, but I just feel like there's still, anyway, I'll use that in my minute to flesh out.
So we know that there's 1% of the open runs through to the online semi-final, I guess, if they choose to. We know that the rest can go to an in-person semi-final, or maybe if you choose to from the 1%, I don't fucking know. We know that there is no quarterfinals. We know that we don't know what the semi-finals are yet. And we know that the teams and the individuals are separated. And there's also this community thing in like summer or whatever as well for affiliates. So, Tyler, my question to you is the new season structure good for affiliates? You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Have at it.
In the short term, I would say yes, because they've reduced a lot of costs, and they're going to, if they use that money from both the community cup or whatever they're calling that thing, and they use that to fund initiatives on the inside of CrossFit to get people into the CrossFit gyms. That's a big if, because they haven't produced that going forward. After year 1, I would say no, this is terrible and it's a detriment to the CrossFit affiliates. CrossFit needs the big shiny CrossFit games, CrossFit regionals. We need that stuff. If we don't have that stuff to shine on, get the community together and shine on the athletes and show what it is and how we're this big, beautiful thing, we're going to start cutting ourselves off at the knee. And so if they do not return that to the affiliates within the first year, we have a huge problem.
Good stuff. All right, Lucy, you've got 60 seconds. Try and pretend you care. Your time starts now. Off you go.
I would say that for the most part, at least for the season structure, they won't notice a difference. You know, they still have the open, but the open is there, but they won't have the responsibility of hosting the quarterfinals, which, especially with the top 25% of athletes going through last year, was actually quite a big deal for a lot of the affiliates. But I do think that any sort of consistent changes, which we've seen for the last 5, 6, 10, whatever years in season, it makes CrossFit look more unstable. And it's another year of more changes, of less stability. And I don't think that has a positive impact on how it makes the affiliate look and how you justify that as an owner. And it's like, well, last year it was this, but the year before it's this, and now this year it's this. And it's like, what the hell is going on?
Good stuff. All right, Can, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Depends on the affiliate. I think in the past, I've seen affiliates that they loved the structure of the season where a lot of their members were then able to go and do quarterfinals. They made quite a big event out of the whole quarterfinals to get around that. And it gave your average gym goer that was going to the gym something to aim for, especially when that went to the top 25%, cutting that away with the top 1%. I think if it's an affiliate that does really get around competition, which I think you see one of two things in affiliates. You see the affiliates that really get around the competitive side and the affiliates that just don't give an F. Can I swear? Is that okay?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. And so I think for those affiliates, nothing changed. I think it's a negative for them because I think that, like what Lucy said, it just shows instability at CrossFit. It's just kind of like what they've changed it again. Like, why do they keep doing that? And then for the other ones, it's a negative as well because now all of a sudden they're going to have less of their people that are able to do this cool quarterfinal thing they used to love.
Good stuff. All right, 20 seconds back down the way. Tyler, you're up first. Time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I mean, CrossFit got their or the affiliates got their big wish, and that they want to divorce the sport from the methodology. So that's cool. Like, that's definitely going to happen now. And so that's my point about bringing the money that you're going to make now, that extra money back to the affiliates has to happen.
Good stuff. All right, Lucy, you got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure how they've separated the sport from the methodology. It still seems like it's all quite interlinked. But the other thing that I would be concerned about is that if it is an affiliate that does have many people across many different categories, you've then got like 3 back-to-back online semi-final events that you have to run.
Okay. Can, last 20 seconds of yours. Time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I wonder which affiliates are the ones that want to separate the sport from the methodology, and if that's all of the affiliates, because I've definitely been involved in affiliates that loved the sport and had the sport as a central part of what they supported. And with that now disenfranchised, I really do think that they suffer too. And they're part of the community. Fuck.
No, you're right.
We were all so polite about it. We stuck within our sections.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one, really. There is an aspect of, like, last year, 2 years ago, people were complaining about quarterfinals, saying like, "Oh, it's just fucking bullshit." And then last year, people were complaining about quarterfinals, being like, "It's fucking stupid, 25%, just a money grab."
People in the CrossFit space complain,
and then they get rid of CrossFit, and people are like,
"Not our
what?
CrossFit. We don't complain.
What do I have
anything.
left? What do I have to aim for?"
No one argues. No one has differing opinions and just honors those differing opinions and understands that that's okay. Everyone, no. We don't do that. We don't do that here.
And
It's
not
just-
them are flocking to my Instagram right now and completely bombarding my phone. That's not happening at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it just a thing? Are you guys contractually obliged with barbell spin that one of you has to like start a fire once every week? Spin is like, guys, we've got no content. John, I need you to say something stupid. Tyler, is there some kind of post you can put up that will cause controversy and have Chase's DMs flooded with hundreds and hundreds of people calling him a prick and a dickhead just because he doesn't share the exact same opinion they do?
Out of the loop. What's happening?
Good.
Now?
Stay out.
Tyler made a video of Chase, a clip of Chase on his own show.
It was Bruce Lee, first of all. But
yeah, Bruce Lee was talking. I didn't really understand that reference. And then it cut to Chase, and Chase was saying, "Look, if you don't want to do the open, that's all right, but just like leave then. Like just go and just don't do it. And that's fine. But that garnering people to join you in boycotting the open isn't what people should be doing, that you should just either do it or don't do it, and that's fine. Like whatever." And yeah, he just got like, at the start, it was funny because, not funny, but like at the start, it was, you know, like positive comment, positive comment, positive comment. It's like, yeah, I'm going to run through a wall for Chase. And then like one person was like, hang on a minute. And then he got like 100, 200 DMs just calling him inconsiderate and a prick and like, you know, you don't care and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's just crazy. But like you say, none of those people are CrossFitters, because CrossFitters don't do that. They don't polarize themselves.
Disagreed on anything in the sport.
No. If there's one thing that's always a rational conversation, it's CrossFitters and American politics. They're the two things that are just smooth sailing. It's fine to have a difference of opinion.
You can definitely make jokes about both of them without pissing anyone off.
Easy.
Right.
All right. Scores after that: Tyler's on 1.5, Luce on 1.5, Cons on 2.
Tom really benefited from going last there.
He really did. He basically got himself half a point by moving himself to the yellow slot. All right, yeah, it is kind of interesting. I think I kind of appreciated Can's insight there with the affiliates that are kind of like, well, hang on a minute, that we really rally around those 3 weeks, and then the extra weekend or 5 days or whatever are really important to our members and really important to us. And
I owned an affiliate for a long time, and that that was a massive thing for a lot of the members. We'd have a huge event out of it, and you'd see it wasn't me doing the workouts that got the crowd around them. Like, it was the members going. Like, you'd have the members that went head to head, and you'd have them in there, and like that was a real big weekend for the affiliate every year. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The affiliate I go to is not really cued into the whole competitive scene. And so I was asking my affiliate owner, like, how do you feel about the changes? He was like, I don't know what the changes are. I filled him in on the changes. And he was like, yeah, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. I genuinely think there's just two camps. There's those affiliates that like, they do love the competitive side of things. They follow the sport. You know, the ones you go into, they've got CrossFit games going on the TVs in the background of their affiliate, like all day, every day. And I've had the privilege of getting to visit so many affiliates around the world. And then, some of them, you walk in, think, fuck who you are, no clue who you are. You go and do the class, and it's probably my favorite way to go and visit an affiliate.
Yeah, because everyone's like, whoa, this guy's amazing.
Have you ever thought of competing before?
Yeah.
I'll
Versus
dabble here
walking
and
in
there.
where everyone knows where you are and they're like, wow, Camp Porter's really like, he's
Yeah.
never
You
gold.
get one end of the spectrum, like, I thought you'd be better and bigger and like all this kind of stuff. Like,
No, man, I'm just a chef. I just want to stay in my lane.
Yeah. You guys know James Bond?
Just on this, I'm not going to derail the whole show for this. I just need to wet my throat for this next bit. So one of the accusations that was leveled at Chase is that he's a corporate shill and he's being paid. He's employed by CrossFit, and obviously he's going to support CrossFit because he's employed by CrossFit. I don't want to speak for Chase, but there are times
But I'm gonna.
where Chase has, from what I've seen, I would assume, absolutely hated the company and many of the people that he works with, or some of the people that he works with. And he's hated the accusations that are leveled at the company and the problems within the company and the consistent change within the company and the only consistency being no consistency and all that kind of stuff. But Chase owes absolutely everything he has, family, wife, job, gym he had, like career he has now, to the methodology of CrossFit. So all he actually cares about is the methodology of CrossFit and protecting that and keeping it going and adding more people to it. And I think when you have a conversation, a genuine conversation with Chase and talk to him about what he does and why he does it, I don't think anybody after that conversation would say, well, he's paid, so it's obviously why he's saying it. Chase is not the type to do that. And I think the reason he wears the big CrossFit logo on his hat or t-shirt or sweater or whatever he's wearing around the place is not because he is paid by CrossFit and that's his job. It's because it's his vocation. And I think even if he wasn't paid by them anymore, he would still be walking around in a fucking CrossFit hat like a big ass trucker, telling everyone who needs to hear it that there's a thing called thrusters and burpees and that you can get Fran lung and that it's really cool. But I just needed to say that because I mean, there's just like, it's abhorrent the amount. I've seen a screenshot of his DMs and it's fucking crazy. Like, it's crazy. Anyway, topic number 2 is Chase. No. So topic number 2. Topic number 2. So we've talked about the affiliates. Is the new season structure good for athletes? Strap in. All right, Lucy, you're first on this one. You've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Go.
On the whole, no. But there are still a ton of questions, as we've spoken about before, that still need answering. But no, because the most important part of the season remains to be online. And for me, there's 2 concerns with that. The first one is always related to online comps and drug use. And I think the Masters outcomes this year has only solidified that. But also the video review issues. So obviously we've got this like extra course, but everyone that's ever done the online judges course knows that you do that over and over with the same question over and over until you get it right. And that fucking double under question, I swear the answer is wrong because I'm good at counting double unders. But I don't want someone judging me and being responsible for my outcome who has had to take one question 50 times to be able to do that.
Stuff. All right, Con, you've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Go.
No for the elite individuals because of the online stuff that was already said, because they are, online competitions are just inherently flawed. But for again, there's so many things we don't know, but looking initially at the competitive opportunities just through the CrossFit season in general, it kind of looks like for everyone else, it's really cool. They've kept all of the kind of the masters, the adaptive, the teams, the teens. They've added a community division. Did I see a pairs division as well that's come into it as well? So competitive opportunities for everyone outside of the elite individuals. Cool, like really, really good. But for the elite individuals, knowing the majority of them going to the games are coming from an online competition, that's not great. Then again, though, have they got now multiple opportunities to compete in multiple semi-final events? I think long-term, that could actually be good for them as well. More opportunity to compete is good. More money.
Good stuff. Don't necessarily agree there'll be more money, but okay. All right, Tyler, last 60 seconds are yours.
I meant from sponsors.
Time starts now. Off you go.
In the short term, or well, just in general, no. I won't focus on the online portion of that. There are the problems that they laid out, but what I will focus on here is all of the other qualifiers, the in-person qualifier events. This is not 2018. The money's not in the sport like it was, and it's not there because people don't go watch the sport and they don't compete in sport. I appreciate what Khan is saying in that there's all these opportunities for people to compete, but you look at Wadapalooza, you look at the MacFest, all of the participation base of those have dried up. Now, Khan's different in that Torian has continued to grow, and that's super great. But here in the States, it's continued to dry up, and there's no buy-in because people want something that's just a little bit farther ahead, and they want to get to somewhere like regionals, where regionals used to seem like people could get to it. And so I just don't think the money's going to be there because the bodies aren't there to buy shit.
It's kind of depressing. All right, Lucy, the first 20 seconds are yours. Your time starts now. Off you go.
I'm actually going to reply to someone in the comments who said if athletes hit the standard and don't ride the line, it won't be a problem. Elite sport is all about riding the line. It's trying to find the fastest way to do it. And you can tell you're not an elite athlete because that's not the first thing that comes into your mind. So, you've annoyed me.
Rubbin's racing.
All right, Can, 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I'll just use mine to clarify the comment about the money. I think the money, what I mean is for athletes, if you are competing more, you've got more visibility, your chances of getting sponsorship money is higher. But I otherwise agree that, outside of Oz, which is continuing to go, Oz is kind of stable. Yeah, I agree that it's going to lose money too.
All right, Tyler, last 20 seconds are yours. Off you go.
I would say to Con on that, that's for the athletes who exist right now, but the pipeline for the athletes coming in is drying up. I will also say that Kotler made a good point in that he is very hopeful for the future, and there is a huge potential for that with this system. It is the most potential that's ever existed, but we have like a 5-year period to get it done.
Yep.
Good stuff. Lucy, you still reading the comments? Yeah, I saw like a annoyed smirk.
Yeah.
How do I read the comments?
Are you on your laptop or your phone?
I found them.
Okay.
Oh,
that's the last we hear. That's the last we hear from Can. All right, let me do. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I take your point about the judges course, but then I guess it depends what this new judges course is. The judges course Ultra, judges course Pro. It depends what that is.
You can't judge movement, right? Unless they're going to make us set up multiple cameras. I don't care how good the judges course is. Judging a standard that let's blurs the line, which again, even like intentionally blurring the line, or sometimes you're just like you have body awareness, but there are times I've been in competitions before where I'm like, I feel like my ass is hitting my ankles and I'm getting no rep for depth. Like I'm not intentionally cutting that movement short. I need the judge in that moment telling me, hey, like this is what's going on. I've also been in competitions where I've had the judge standing behind an athlete, like we had it at semifinals. Em was standing here and the judge was behind her watching her squat. And I was like, can you move to the side? Because you're not going to get the right view here. So if you have someone's got one angle when they're judging an online competition, how like those borderline, blurring the right line reps. Like, let's first of all not assume that the athlete's intentionally doing that. Make the world be a better place if we don't assume the worst of the people that are doing things. Like that would just change the game of everything. But they're not. Let's assume for a second they're not attempting to blur the line. They're just unaware that they are, and now they've got a judge watching from like a weird, like an angle online. I don't know. I just think that that's inherently flawed.
I think as well, like obviously what happened last year with the training think tank guys who got like legit judges in who were judging in person and then they still got a shit ton of no reps. Like you can't, these are judges that judge at the in-person events that you run as a CrossFit organization. So it's like, if that doesn't count as legit reps, what does?
Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot on that big time. I would have eaten that 100%. If I would have known that it was elite judges at TTT, I'd have been like, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
And the thing is as well, like, I get what they're trying to do. And like, you know, they're trying to improve it and we appreciate that. But just don't make it matter so much. I really think the sooner you can get people into in person, and I get obviously what you're saying about the financial impact and everything like that, but it's the best way to avoid the shit show that ends up happening every year.
And also just we're so limited with an online competition in what you can test versus in person. Like you're so limited.
Yeah, you're not going to go swimming or running or, something outside or whatever.
Well, but even just like machine calibration limits it very heavily to what we can do with that kind of stuff, which then limits your capacity, like your ability to test capacity, which then limits your, things have to fit within a video frame and it can't be too wide frame. So you've got 25 feet of workable space essentially. So there's
surely with the machine thing, like, I don't know, the fucking rower thing. I mean, rowers can be not calibrated correctly too.
I had a crack.
Surely you can have an assault bike programmed or an echo bike programmed and be like, fucking get one. Like borrow one or go get one and have it there. Because most gyms fucking have them at this stage. Like I'd say equal amount of gyms, maybe not exactly equal, but pretty close to equal would have a rower and an assault bike at their gym, at least one. So could you not do it where in your little fucking, here's my measuring tape to measure the fucking plate or whatever, and here's me standing on a weighing scales holding the plate and then measuring this and that and this. Could you not just film yourself doing some kind of test on the assault bike that would show that the fan isn't bent to let the air go through it quicker or slower or whatever?
There's like a 20% tolerance or something on those things. And so you'd have pieces of shit like me who would figure out how to bend it just enough to where they wouldn't say anything. But if you set that line, I'm getting as close to it as possible without you saying shit. And I'm still cheating.
You're the problem.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could bend the fan. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently it just fucking rips through it. Like it's like, wasn't there a story about Matt Fraser was on an assault bike and someone was on one beside him and he was like, what the fuck is happening? That they were getting off it like really quick. And it turned out that their fan, the like blades of their fan was all like bent back towards them. So it just ripped through it.
Have you ever been to a gym and been like, this rower is faster than all the others? Like something's going on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a severe lack of accessories and gimmicks from these folks. Disappointing. Yeah. So if you're not aware, CTP has been on the show twice. One time he brought on a set of Pokemon cards and opened them on screen. You'd probably like that. And then the second time he was on, he brought on a WWE belt and held it above his head and went on. Somehow managed to tie every single question back to WWE.
I mean, I might shit myself because I've had my morning coffee, but I haven't had my morning poop. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, you could use a coffee cup. And that like full circle.
If you see me
drinking
again,
cool.
you know why.
He's losing grip.
All right, we've got one topic left. I haven't shown you your scores. Lucy, I don't know what the fuck's going on with you. Tyler's on 3.5. No, because you wasted your 20 seconds arguing with someone in the comments who's essentially irrelevant.
He was wrong.
But it's not relevant to what we're talking about.
It was.
Not really.
Oh.
So Tyler's on 3.5, Cam's on 3.5, Lucy's on 3. We've got one question left to go. Tyler's autobiography, pieces of shit like me. We've got one question to go.
It's a good title.
It's been kind of mentioned there briefly by a couple of people in that last question. We know that we're going to have in-person semifinals as well as our online semifinal. My question to you is, what event or events should be added as in-person semifinals to the CrossFit Games season? Can, you're first up on this one. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Go.
The Torian fucking Pro, obviously. Wildly biased, but yeah, you are correct in that event every year just surpasses the year previously. It's an opportunity to bring together all of the affiliates in Oceania. Like, I know people who go to visit and watch just for the sake of going to watch. It's as much a community event. They have community divisions that run alongside the main competition. And it's just a brilliant way to bring the Oceanic community together. Team Torian Pro, I don't even need the other 20 seconds.
I thought you were going to puke when you in the middle of saying Oceania. I was like, oh shit, he's going to spew. And you didn't. You held it together. Just to use up your last 20 seconds, it was funny at Rogue. I was talking about all the cool stuff that they were doing at Rogue. And someone in the comments was like, yeah, they do that at Torian every year. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's so good.
All right, Tyler, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Go.
My answer would be either CrossFit Crash, the Crash Crucible, or Mayhem, whatever that event was that they used to run. Make it super small fans, just make it super intimate, broadcast the living shit out of it, get all the filming you want to do, and make it this super cool, really niche event that's just like super just inside and over televised. I think we get into trouble when we allow all these fans. We buy these big places or lease out these big places where we can host all these people, and it overlays a bunch of dollar costs. And instead, just get rid of all of that and have a super huge purchase price of like $1,000 to get in the building, and then broadcast the living shit out of it, televise it, and go from there.
All right, Lucy, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Well, I think if the future of the sport is in Europe, then it has to be a European event. So for me, it's French Throwdown, because the atmosphere last year was insane. When it's in Europe, it's so easy for people to get to from multiple different continental countries in Europe, which means that the events are busy. French Throwdown was packed last year. They had the affiliate event or the community event on the other side, which was also a packed out arena with people waiting to see the inside of it. And, it's just really well run every year. And it has a long standing history of CrossFit as well. I don't really know what else to say there. Like, it was a bit of a strange question, I'll be honest.
Why?
This was a hard one.
I mean, I was going to say Torian, French Throwdown. I think there should be another one in Europe, so Madrid, and then MAC in America.
Oh, look, we'll talk about it at the end. I have many questions there. All right, Khan, you've got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I'll add a European event. So I did German Throwdown, and it was incredible because you get all of Europe there, and that place raised the roof. I think the competitions outside of America seem to be blowing up, whereas the competitions inside America. So I like the small and intimate idea there.
Good stuff. All right, Tyler, 20 seconds starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I think I would just add on to what Khan said. I like that each of us went for our own regions. I'm going to disagree over here because I don't give a shit about having another European semifinal, but that's just a personal opinion. But I like that we're trying to optimize each one of our regions. I'm acknowledging the fact that nobody shows up to our events.
Good stuff. Lucy, last 20 seconds are yours. Off you go.
I don't really know what to say to any of that.
You said fuck Europe, fight.
Fuck them.
Yay, Team Europe. And also, I'm going to be pro-Europe. Europe is where the talent is coming up, especially on the female side, and it's where the biggest head-to-heads are.
Right.
I can't say anymore. I've been on here for 6 weeks. I'm all out of ideas.
Oh, you won't be on next week, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. I told you I can't do next week anyway.
The issue, right. I'll show you the points first, and then we can just have a chat. So I'll have a brief chat about this semi-finals thing. All right. Brace yourself, guys. We have a new winner. All right. So the final score is Lucy's on 4, Khan's on 4.5, Tyler's on 5.
Third time on the show, finally got it done.
So
I'm pretty sure this game was rigged in my help, but I'm going to take it anyway.
The issue with Lucy's answer and Khan's answer, there's no issue with it. Like what you said is absolutely fine and it's accurate. German Throwdown, great suggestion. French Throwdown, great suggestion. Mac, in your follow-up, absolutely terrible suggestion. Torian, great suggestion. Like they can't do the in-person semifinals and not have Torian. I don't think they can do it and not have French Throwdown or an equivalent event in Europe. I think what they should do is say, all right, if you're in Asia, you have a choice. You can go to Europe or you can go to Torian. If you're in Africa, you have a choice. You can go to Europe or you can go to this event we have in the Middle East, or you can go to Australia, because I just don't think the depth of field is there. It's just not. I mean, you can pretend it is and you can say, well, we have to have an event because the continent, do whatever you want. But I honestly just think it's a waste of resources unless you're bringing athletes from other places in the world to beef up the field a little bit. What can?
Is that not what's happening? Is my understanding from the limited information we got is you can just go wherever you want and compete.
Yeah, in theory.
Like if you get even just 10 really good guys and 10 really good girls going to Asia, they're going to lose their mind.
Yeah.
Like from outside other regions.
Saying there's probably a lot of athletes who are, oh, fuck, I've made a semi-final. Well, probably not going to make it to the games. Fuck it, I want to go to Australia and see what Torian's like. And then they can go and do that. Like, the America thing is an issue because as we saw with West Coast Classic last year, there's just a fucking echo of nothingness. There was just nobody. The only things people talked about at West Coast Classic is the empty stands and Bill Leahy's injury. That was basically, they were the main two talking points for the whole fucking weekend. It was like nobody even remembers who fucking qualified. It was just those two things. No disrespect to anyone intended. I think Tyler's idea is fantastic of a small event in an affiliate and you charge like stupid money to go look at it. And the focus is, because if you have a small, like not a small affiliate, but if you have an affiliate that's not this big fucking arena that's just like, hey, let's just not have anyone here and we look like fucking idiots caught with our pants down at the end of this, versus, oh, look, it's the Mayhem Classic and it's absolutely fucking rammed wall-to-wall people. You can't even see, and everyone's able to watch it, and fucking Froning is emceeing it, and it's like old school roots, like perfect. That's what America needs. Europe and Australia need what you guys are saying of this massive event because you can pull it off, or we can pull it off. But I think the outside the box thinking is what they need. And I think in America, they need to avoid falling into the mistake that they've fallen into for the last few years. There are some exceptions to that. I mean, Syndicate seemed like it was pretty decent last year, but it just hasn't worked. Like that concept hasn't worked since regionals. And the reason it worked at regionals is because of the fucking affiliates, because so many people were going with their gym and with their team who qualified, and all of the people went, and then it was wall to wall people. Europe have managed to continue that because we're so deprived of events over here of that magnitude that when something happens, it's like, oh, fuck, everyone go to Aberdeen quick. Same in Australia. There's like Down Under and Torian, and everyone's like, oh, fuck, everyone's going to be there. I can't miss that. And then you get the Pat Rafters wedged wall to wall. America is like, I'll just wait till the games are on. Or, I'll just wait till whatever's on. Or, I'll go to Miami instead. I'll go to SoCal instead. And it's just like being spoiled for choice, basically. So I think in the States, yeah, you need that small, intimate thing. And then maybe gradually you can start building it back up as the system grows to, shit, we're in a position where we can host a regional, like a proper regional again, and we can go back to that. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it. Patrick Clark says, Korea will be a semi-final and a lot of Oceania and European athletes will probably attend with a game spot on the line. Yeah, it just depends on what the rules are on that, because they haven't actually said that you can or you can't. And I think that's going to make a lot of people's opinions on it change. Whether it's like, hey, Lucy, you can go to Asia if you want, versus no, Lucy, you must stay.
Lucy, how many regionals did you guys have back in the day? 2?
As Europe?
Yeah. I think it was 2.
Because we had the Meridian
and then the Europe.
Yeah. So yeah, you haven't had this giant fall back. I guess I wanted to address like Dex's comment about MFers over here are spoiled for sure. I think it's a combination of two things. One, that we had it super made because you only had to travel like 3 states for regionals at max. And it was more of a super communal feel like you guys have currently. And then 2, I think Americans expect excellence out of events. And so when you go and no one's there, it's like, well, I could go to a fucking football game that's like an hour down the road. And they happen every single weekend, right? Yes. Why would you go to this?
Yeah, I mean, I like having been in America and seen what a high school football stadium looked like. I was kind of like, wow, okay, no wonder these events are empty. If that's the standard, if that's the quality, if that's the bar, you're never going to reach that bar with just like, I don't know. It is interesting. And someone asked, I can't find the comment, but someone said, do we know how many there will be? I mean, it could be a good idea for them to say, all right, Torian, That's your gig over there. I can't remember the fucking name of that. Was it Far East or whatever? That's your thing there. I can't remember the fucking African one either. Whatever, the African semi-final. Like you do that one, French throwdown, and maybe you add German throwdown in there, or another event like Strength and Depth might pull something off or whatever in there too. And then in America, all right, we're going to have 10 events, and 2 people will qualify from each event. And they're held in affiliates, or it's like Mayhem will host one in their gym, and then we have I don't know, fucking CrossFit New England, Invictus, who cares? But just like smaller ones with 1 or 2 people qualifying versus Tory, and you get 5 and 5, or you get 6 and 6, or whatever. The issue is if they start saying to people, you can have like you can travel all over the world. Then it's like, well, how do they work out how many people are going to qualify from that? Do they just say at the start, all right, Torian gets 4 spots and 4 spots. Decide whether you want to go there and compete or not. It's still going to be 4 spots and 4 spots. Or do they let people register for the event and then say, wow, look at the depth of field here. We better give them 7. Which they've kind of left themselves open to that problem.
A lot of questions need answering.
Honestly, too many questions.
Show, and I was told, who needs answers? We do. We need answers.
Too many questions for how close the season actually is.
Like, well, we knew shit all last week.
Imagine you're the head of partnerships for CrossFit thinking, I don't know the answer to any of these questions. I'm approaching brands, and I'm approaching like venues, and I'm trying to sort shit out. Like, we don't even know where the fucking games is going to be next year. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But I agree with Tyler's initial point he made in was it the first question? Maybe it's the second one. No, it's the second question of like, there is huge potential with this. And I think stripping it back to a bare bones type thing and then rebuilding it is a lot smarter than saying, all right, well, we really fucked it up last year, so we're just going to go fucking huge and hope for the best. It's like, or we're going to keep banging our heads against the wall. And like, that's the definition of insanity, is expecting a different outcome. So it is really frustrating that there's consistent change, but I think stripping it back to the bare bones makes a lot of sense when you look at like, all right, now we can actually see there is some potential in this. What they shouldn't do is do it now and then next year be like, right,
never
back to regionals. Like, you know, they just need to stick maybe 2, maybe 3 years with whatever system they come up with this year. And then if you have these big semifinals or good semifinals coming in, and they host a good event and it turns out to be something important, like if you have something at Invictus or something at, I don't know, fucking wherever, Mayhem, wherever in the States, and it works really well, then you could have these other events saying, hey, we want to do it now. We've seen the potential here. We want to be involved in this. And the same in Australia, you might have Down Under say, well, hey, maybe we move our event from October back a little bit or whatever. And then there's also the other aspect of Will Moore and all his shit to see. I mean, fucking, there's just so many questions. It's ridiculous.
How many more season adjustments do you think the community can get through? Like, we've done it.
I'd say this is probably it.
This is the last one.
I think if they don't get this right, people are going to be like, man, I mean, I've tried and I've tried.
Especially if something else does pop up that's sort of there and functioning straight away.
Yep.
I will say what Kotler said yesterday made me think like, fuck, that's actually good. That hopefully it's like, okay, we've got the game season, and we've got this alternative idea, and that within maybe 2, maybe 3 years, they just sort of merge, and you just end up with this like good, solid structure that's wildly or roundly supported, and it just turns into one new entity that can function, versus 2 things like fighting and bouncing off each other constantly, and then people leaving this one to go to this one, and it's just they detract from each other. And there's like, we've consistently talked about how small the sport is, how small the ecosystem is, how small the pool of brands, the pool of athletes, the pool of everything is. And then if you just have 2 big entities fighting for that, like, they can't both thrive. It's just not physically possible.
I don't know how this happens, but the community needs to heal. Having been involved in CrossFit for as long as I have, which is like 13 years now, I've never, ever, ever seen, and I understand to an extent, the community so divided. And I've never seen so many voices so like aggressively opposed to other people within the community. I don't know how it happens. Maybe it doesn't happen, but I think the community being able to withstand more changes doesn't necessarily stem from whether we can withstand more changes, is whether the community can come back together. And I don't know how they do that, but it's wild to see how much the CrossFit community has changed over the last 13 years.
I was thinking about that this morning because of all the shit that I've caused for myself. And I got my,
And Chase.
and Chase. I got my level 1 sometime around this time of year, 10 years ago, my first level 1. And just thinking about what the spirit of the community was like back then and how sort of together everybody was. If CrossFit said we're going to row the boat this way, everybody was fucking rowing. And now everybody's like, fuck you. This is my oar. Get off my boat. Fuck everybody else. Give me this.
He's sitting in my seat.
Right. It's fucking bananas. And it's like, it does tell me, looking at all the comments on that post, people still really care. So that's good. At least we fucking care. But like, how do we glue it, man? It's so disunited at the moment.
Yeah.
Remember when I said if everyone chose to assume the best in other people instead of the worst, we'd be moving in a good direction? That's the answer.
Shut the fuck up, Ken. All right, there is 152 people watching this. If I can make two requests. The second one is selfish. The first one isn't. Go on to Tyler's post that he put up this morning and comment something positive about Chase, or DM Chase something positive about him or his efforts or his like value with the community in general, because
your hair is nice, period.
Anything like, hey, cool jawline, like I don't give a fuck what it is, but just something, because I mean, fuck me, like honestly, it's just a cesspit of fucking dickheads. And I think it might be nice to just intersperse one nice comment every so often, be like, hey Chase, you got nice hair, man. That's it. That's all. The second one is to please like the video and subscribe. That's selfish. That's not as altruistic. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Lucy, for your secondment to the show for the last 3 years. Thanks, Can. Always great to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the States. Enjoy yourselves and whatever. I don't know. Be fucking thankful for something. I don't know how that works. What do you say? Happy Thanksgiving? Is that it? Is that all you say?
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, there you go. Tyler's going off.
That's it.
Tyler's going off to strum a guitar, and Can's going off to strum himself, and Lucy's going off to thank her blessings that she's not on this show next week. Thanks for watching. Go and DM Chase and like and subscribe. Thank you.